Hi YouTube. Today we're doing a fun thing. I thought like we could just make a coin or something simple, and I'll show you how to model it in Blender, and then I will how to implement it into Unreal, making it into a pickup, and you have a pickup parent, and from there you can have like a live pickup, like an extra life, or like a coin. And today we're doing a coin just to show you, and we'll make a material for it, and we'll make a material instance out of that, and then yeah, basically a simple coin. So if we start up by opening up Blender, and I'll show you what the aim is. It's something like this in the Blender, and in Unreal it will look sort of like this. Is the aim, and you can make it go up and down. I wanted to make it something like Mario Sunshine coins with the like indent that is a little bit taller. I think it's a good design. Just interesting to me because of that, like it goes in the upwards direction, and it feels natural that it stands up in that way. That it's not random or yeah. So let's see. We open up Blender, and then you open up Blender like this. You just remove all the assets or the objects that are in there, and then you make a circle, and then you rotate it by pressing R, and then Y, and then 90. Rotate on the Z and do 90. Do 90, and you could also just rotate X, but I did this now. So and then you extrude in, and then you press scale, and it will be something like this. And what you could do right here is take the inner circle, and you could do merge vertices at center. However, I feel like this is not a good solution because you lose your loop cuts in this way. So what's better is just doing something like this. You do fill in the first 3 up there, and then the 4 like this, and if you continue on doing that for every one here, and if you have a high polygon mesh, this might take some time. And I tried to make it like a bridge loop, but it didn't work, so I'm just doing this, and it's not that many, so it won't take that long time anyhow. And then the 3 last ones, and then what you can do is you click on either 2, or you press this button up here, which is for edges, and you press an edge, and then you click Ctrl R, and then you select on your mouse wheel, you scroll up, and then you get more. Either you press 2, or you can use your mouse wheel. I like to use my mouse wheel, and you make 2 edge loops right here, and it will be something like this. And now we extrude everything. Oh yeah, and I remember actually this later is good to connect this path with here. So this should be like this. It is something that I remember was important. And if you want it to have a greater edge, you can press Ctrl R and do something like this, and then scale this one up and scale this one too, something like that, or extrude from here and scale. And I'm thinking like something like this, and then we extrude everything in this, but extrude everything here except for, and I do that by pressing A and then Shift A and then Shift A Control, and then you get you can remove multiple ones, and then you click on extrude, something like this, and this is for the very inner part, and this can be quite small. And then for the outer edge can be something like this. And I'm thinking that this part in here, well, I'll get that later. But as you can see, now we have half of it, and this is so good with 3D modeling software, is sometimes you don't have to do everything twice. You can just mirror it and you have a whole coin. And when we look at the face orientation here, you can see we have some weirdness with the most inner part, because it's so close to each other that it shows up on, like as if it was on the other side, and it's not maybe that good to make it two-sided. So what we'll do instead is we just move this inner part out a little bit, like this, and as you can see, it's no longer red on this side. And we can remove the face orientation, and let's start to play with the colors a little bit. Now we're going to make our own custom material in Unreal, but just to like have a understanding of what it kind of looks like, and you can change the metallic. It won't transfer if you don't export it in a certain way, but yeah, something like this. And then you can shade. I like shade auto smooth to get the correct smoothing. And maybe we should have a bevel on the outer ring. So what you do is to select the whole seat, or the whole edge loop, or the whole loop. What you do is you press on like towards this vertice, but on the edge, and then hold in Alt, and then you get the whole edge loop. I don't know what's called, the loop or something. And then you press Control B to bevel, and then you can use your mouse wheel again to decide how many you want. I'm thinking like this is good, and then once again shade auto smooth. Maybe it has a little bit too few polygons, but I don't think it matters that much actually. It looks kind of decent, looks like a Mario coin. Pretty much, and then what you do is you export this somewhere on your computer. You can call it coin and I'm gonna do YouTube so I can remember on my own. You can name whatever you want, of course, and then press selected objects. And if you would have textures in here, this is where you would have you would choose those. So you would do copy and paste that button there. But we're not doing that right now because we're just doing a simple material. So we export this. And now in Unreal, don't think that we have the coin in already. This is from earlier. So what we'll do to import the new coin, we'll go to where you have the coin and import, and not skeleton mesh, not generating anything. If you reset it to default and you have missing collision, remove that. You can create new material, that's fine, because we're going to override it anyway. And if you wonder why my is red here, is because I already have a material just called material. So we're going to make a new material here. And we're going to call it, let's call it like material or M. I like to do it matte. So you can do M for material or matte as the prefix. And I'm going to do matte. I'm going to do basic color. Like that. And then we're going to have our first is a color node into the basic color, and then we're going to have 2 nodes for metallic and 1 for roughness. If you wonder how I did these variables, I did that by pressing 1 or 2 or 3, and then you get different. First you get a float value, then you get a 2D vector, and then you get a 3D vector with color. And then you can convert these to parameters. This is how I do it. I know you can press S and get a parameter this way, but I like doing it this way. What you do here is you can rename this to color by pressing F2. F2 on this to call it metallic. And then this one has roughness. This is our basic color material. And then what you do is you make it into a material instance. And we can call this coin. And then I do mat E for material instance, and then coin I meant I'll switch. And then you can turn in these parameters if you want, and you can choose the color. I'm going to go over the yellow color, as yellow as you can get. We're going to increase the metallic on this, like something like this. And then roughness. I like it very shiny, but I don't like when you can see too much of the like environment around it. That looks weird to me. So we're gonna increase it to almost this. This looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit less on metallic there, and then something like that. So then we have the material for the coin, and this is just a color material. It's not advanced with a texture or anything like that. If you would like a texture material, you do the same, but you use texture sample. You would go in here and you would press T, I think it is, and then on the UV that you want to do it on, you have an image, and then you paste that onto the coin. Say if we want to, I think I have a dragon image. I can't remember what it's called. Anyhow, whatever. I don't think the UV mapping is very good on it anyhow. So, but we have our YouTube coin here, and we're gonna go into it, and we're gonna choose its material. It's gonna be material instance coin, and it looks kind of green to me. I don't know, maybe it's my color blindness. If we choose the 3D mesh to be this one, we can see it better. It looks kind of green, doesn't it? Like this is a little better. Has green in it. Maybe if we increase the roughness just a tiny bit, something like that. And now we can import it into the. Oh, it's huge! It is huge! Look how huge it is. That's too big. So what we'll do is a good way to see how big something is in Blender is to go and insert the cube, and it's roughly 2 meters. This coin, the cube is 2 meters. So if you can see, as you can see here, it's larger than 2 meters actually. So we're gonna scale it down to first 1 meter, and then we scale it to maybe 60 centimeters or something. It's a huge coin, you know. And then we're gonna apply all transforms. Oh, we have to apply the mirror here. Maybe if we just apply Shift A. If we apply the scale, it's okay. And now if we apply the location, it's okay. So when you do that at the same time, it didn't like it. So we're gonna export it to the YouTube coin, and then we're gonna see here. You can look at it here, but when we import it, it will become smaller. Yay! I think it did better the second time, but as you can see, it's a little bit different. This looks more like a Mario coin to me. Yeah. Okay. And what you do here is you create an actor, and you call it blueprint, parent, pick up parent. I already have one called pick up parent, so pick up parent 2 or something. And then you add a static mesh, and then you add I like doing it with a box collision. It's gonna rotate anyhow. You can change the box collision to a sphere collision if you think that is better. It could be better actually, but I like when the coins are flat, and I don't know. Because what's so good about the sphere is it's the same from all angles, whereas this cube, you can like run over the edges, and sometimes that is a little bit weird. So for the static mesh, we're just gonna import. You can take any kind of mesh that is fine. I have this cone mesh here, and in here we're gonna do on begin overlap. And this is a single player game, so if you have like a multiplayer game or something, the logic might be different for how you pick it up. But for us, this is gonna be if it's equal to the player character. This is a single player game, so this works fine. And then we're going to create a custom event. Add custom event. And we're going to call it on pickup. Like that. And then if it's the character, it's gonna do on pickup, and then on pickup here we can access that in the child of this. Okay, the child blueprint class, pickup coin 2, and you wouldn't call it pickup coin 2, you would call it pickup coin. It's just I already have one since earlier in this project. But in here you can choose the static mesh, and I'm gonna use my YouTube coin. And the box extent, you can change its size, and I think this should be 10. No, this should be 10. This can be 40, something like this. The more I think about it, is that the sphere collision is probably better, because if this wouldn't rotate, since it's rotating it doesn't matter, but if it wouldn't rotate and you would walk right past it, you wouldn't pick it up. You kind of want it to be the same from all angles. Yeah. So let's do that actually. We're gonna delete this. Then we're gonna add a sphere collision. And it's gonna be where that is. And you're gonna get an error for not having the box collision still. So we're gonna do sphere one. And as you can see, here is a sphere collision. And say if you were to have multiple pickups and you didn't have a pickup parent, then you would want to change all of the pickups collision, like from a box to a sphere. You do that by having a pickup parent, and you can change the parent later, but it's pretty good to do it in the beginning. And looks good, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe like 40, 35, yeah. Looks good. And on pickup, event on pickup, we're gonna do print string hello YouTube, I picked up a coin. Compile, and if we add this here, it's gonna be further down, and maybe you don't want that when you're just inserting coins like this. So what you can do, you can add a little offset here. Let's do something like this. And there's your coin. So when we walk over it, it should say, hello YouTube, I picked up a coin. Woo! Awesome. And as you can see, it's not rotating, it's not going up and down, and that's an easy thing to do. So we add rotating movement, we add interp to movement. Rotating movement can be 180 maybe, and then in here on the interp movement, it doesn't do anything yet. But if we add a control point and we say it should have maybe 20, and then we add one again, and it could be back to the starting point, and then we do ping pong. Yay! Then it goes down like this. So there you go. That's the tutorial of how to make YouTube make a coin. Yeah, that's basically it. Coins. And if there is anything interesting you would like me to do, you can add that into the comment section, and like for Unreal or YouTube, I'll look into that. So peace.